Hi guys, welcome again to my channel and your favorite female health show, Triple F, with your anchor, Dr. OBeLs. Please do well to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification to get our weekly uploads. Someone reached out to me on Facebook and mentioned how she lost her uncle to cancer and how a lot of her friends were battling with depression, and that took me back to 2016, 4 months straight out of Housemanship. I started a company called Health Entertainment Limited, and the idea of the company was to produce health enlightenment movies. So I decided to start with a massive project. So I got talking to my uncles and my aunts, those of them that were in the film industry, and they made some recommendations. It was tough on me. I was the executive producer, I was the producer, and I was playing the lead. But the thing was, despite the planning I had, they just never stopped asking. I just kept putting in more money, taking in more loans, putting in more money, transportation, welfare. This story is not going as easy as I thought, but the thing was, at a point, I ran out of funds. And funny enough, I was looking forward to getting more money from family and friends, but they too had had enough and weren't going to give me more money. And I think that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I went back home broke. I went back home and I watched the film. The film was here. I feel like a typical Nigerian film is here, and I was aiming for a film that was here, Hollywood standard. So it wasn't like a typical Nigerian film, and it was just here, and that was really sad. I was close to $1 million in debt, and I had no film, no standard film to show for it. And I just sunk back into my cocoon. And I decided not to think about it anymore. So for about a month, all I did was eat, sleep, wake up, watch movies, eat, sleep, repeat, the whole process. My mom was there for me. My mom always came into my room and encouraged me and told me, don't worry, it's going to be okay. Don't worry, it's going to be alright. Come my birthday, 17th of October 2016, and as I went to the bathroom, I realized that I was almost going blind. Yep, on my right eye. I looked towards a light and all I saw was white. I closed this eye and I couldn't see with this eye. I closed this eye and I could see fairly with this, and I was partially going blind on my right eye, and it freaked me out. I started calling out like, mommy, I think I am going blind. What the hell is happening to me? What is going on with me? Like, being broke, being hopeless wasn't enough. I'm going to go blind too. So it was really a sad period for me. That time, it was really a sad period for me. So my mom came and she was like, what's going on? I told her, and she said, okay, I think you should see a doctor. So I went and saw a doctor, but that eye issue, it's a whole story for another day. I had about 3 amazing friends back then. I was in a relationship and I just kept getting support from them. They kept telling me, don't worry, it's going to be okay. One of them supported me throughout the production. She was there from the beginning of the production. She was in charge of welfare. 2 of them loaned me money for the film, and I lived with one of them for about a month when I wanted to get away from home. never neglect the effect of a good support system. So with the help of my family members and friends, I started going out, I started communicating with people some more, and in November, that was about close to 2 months after the whole episode of just sulking and feeling hopeless and feeling bad and terrible, I started getting myself back. I decided to register for NYSC, and the thought that helped me stay afloat was that I was going to start earning again. I was going to clear off all my debt. I was going to get support from NGOs and companies. I was going to put everything together and replan, re-strategize, and shoot my Oscar-winning film. That was a thought that just kept me going over and over again. I said, no, I'm not going to give up on this. I know one day I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it on a global level the way I've always wanted to do it. So it took me about 2.5 years to clear off all my debt and 3 years to shoot my debut film, Half an Hour Counts. I'll be putting the link in my description box, and after then I was able to shoot 2 other films, 9 Prix and Status. My films are yet to win an Oscar, but I mean, I started shooting I started shooting films that actually got out and people got to see. No one is above depression, and the problem we have in Africa is that most of us believe that depression is beneath us and it only comes or affects people in the Western world. This only makes us oblivious to the early signs of depression and prevents us from seeking help early. It also tilts us into the skewed spectrum of being suicidal. Dealing with the scope of depression is way beyond this episode, and so I'll be putting down links where you can go and find out very credible materials on depression. Presently, I have learned to spot the early signs of depression and quickly navigate my way around it whenever I experience any of the symptoms, and I think every one of us should do the same. While everyone can experience depression, it is different how it expresses itself depending on your age and your sex. Depression is worse in women and exhibits as fatigue, weight gain, excessive sleeping, tiredness, loss of interest in hobbies. While in men it exhibits as anger, restlessness, irritability, difficulty in sleeping, anxiety, and inability to concentrate at work. The increased depression incidence in women have been linked to our hormones, and that's why it is usually worse during menstruation, pregnancy, and menopause. To be diagnosed of depression, the symptoms must exist for at least 2 weeks, and aside the emotional problems, you may also experience some physical problems. These include GIT problems, nausea, vomiting. You may have problems eating, either you're overeating or you're undereating. Problems sleeping, it's either you're sleeping too much or you're not having enough sleep. Sexual dysfunction, constant headaches, back pain, restlessness, muscle and joint pain. All these problems can actually exist when you have depression, so it's not all the time you treat typhoid and malaria. As a fitness trainer, I've tried to encourage people to eat right and exercise, but the truth is, once you're not emotionally psyched, it is difficult for us to get those physical components motivated. Out of the 322 million people that suffer from depression worldwide, 7 million come from Nigeria. Depression is not equivalent to sadness, neither is it a sign of a person's weakness or character flaw. It affects every woman differently. Usually, support from family and friends and a positive lifestyle change can get you out of depression. But in moderate to severe cases of depression, you may need professional help. where you have to be given medications and be taken through psychotherapy. So if you notice any similar symptom that is lasting longer than usual, please seek professional help. So I would like you to share with me in the comment section below your story and how you got out of depression, because you never know who is passing through the same thing that may just get inspiration from you and get out of depression. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will see you same time next week. Bye.